Hello, my loves. Happy time whenever you are listening to this. I have had this idea in my heart for, I want to say a year and a half. It came to me during my solo travels to share some of my journal entries from when I was first awakening. And one of the reasons why this came to me was because I was traveling and I had all these journals. Honestly, I moved out and I had all of these journals, and that is one thing that is hard for me to let go of is these thoughts and these words and these written nuggets of wisdom that were channeled, right? A lot of our writing at times is channeled, and if you do not journal, I highly recommend it. I am getting back into my journaling practice, dream journaling, regular journaling, because yeah, in 2018, I had a gratitude journal. I actually still think I have that. So maybe I will share some of that. That was from fall of 2018. And it's the 5 minute gratitude journal. Or the 5 minute journal, if you've never heard of it, I highly recommend it. And yeah, journaling was one of the balms, the healing balms that I relied on and that helped me in those beginning stages of my awakening, but also just to release thoughts, right? And to release creativity and to understand myself, right? And I read back these journal entries and I'm blown away because a lot of times what we write is what our future self is channeling, right? We are writing as our higher self. We are writing as this unfiltered part of us. And sometimes I read these entries and these things have come true, or I was giving myself my own advice, or there were things that I was predicting in the future. And so that is why when I was traveling in 2022, there was something that was like, I could not let go of all of these written words. And I remember being able to type a lot of the journals I had. So I had so many journals, honestly. I've had them since I was a kid. I wish I could tap into those diaries I had as a child. Remember the ones with the little locks on them and the key? I would write everything down, everything in elementary school, in middle school, in high school, college. I have been writing and journaling ever since I was young. And even just looking back over the last 5 years, how much journaling and writing has helped me in my process of spirituality, of awakening, of just being a human on this planet. So, yeah, that idea came to me, I think it was June 2022, to start sharing some of these journal entries on the podcast and just be honest and unfiltered and vulnerable and know that um, because I am sharing here, right, I could then let go of these journals and I can release them, right? It's good to release things. As I'm recording this, it's the end of January of 2024. And it's such a good practice to declutter and to cleanse and to let go of the past in many different ways. And I honestly feel like holding on to these journals is no longer serving me, right? Of course, things serve us up until a point. And last night in the middle of the night, it was like 2 a.m. I I received that download to start this like Dear Diary podcast sub episode series, right? And just share. And if you are on your awakening journey, if you have any questions, anything comes up, I would love to continue, right? The dear, was it like Dear Abby, right? Like Dear Michelle the Mystic, like just send in a question, send in anything you're moving through, a coaching question, a personal question, a self-development question, like anything you're moving through, and I will pick one question and answer it for an episode. So you can send that to me at my Instagram at Michelle the Mystic. You can also send it to me on email, michellethemystic22@gmail.com, or at Soul Over Matter Podcast on Instagram, because that also popped in. Just starting to answer questions that you might have and to create more of this engagement, right? I have been doing this podcast for almost 3 years, and at times I'm like, I don't know who's listening. I don't know what they're thinking. Not that I really care what anyone is thinking, but I'm a manifesting generator. I need to feel that like engagement and feel that connection. So when you guys share to your stories that you're listening to one of these episodes and you tag me, or you share something about the episode that you deeply resonated with, it means so much to me. So at the very least, if you are listening to this podcast, please share it. Share it to your stories, tag me, and yeah, creating more of this community, this engagement. Because yeah, I can't see you guys, and I haven't really been active on our Facebook group, honestly. It's been a wild 5, 6 months, and yeah, I get to show up there as well on Facebook and connect with you guys. So anyway, I have found some journals. One of these journals is actually I was like reading through, and it's all notes from my holistic life coaching certification program that I took. I want to say winter 2019, so early 2019. And it was based in Amsterdam. So I was up at like 4 a.m. for these classes before my before my job. And there's so much beautiful wisdom in there, and there's just a lot of notes and a lot of facts. So I found one of those journals, but the one that I am going to share with you all to kickstart this dear diary, to kickstart this dear journal. What is it? Dear God, it's me, Margaret. Maybe I should coin it. Dear God, it's me, Michelle. Is from Okay, so we're also going to be kind of going around, and I'm also going to share if they are anecdotes, if they aren't just like channelings or writings. I will share more context and more background to these journal entries. But this one that I found is from December 2019. So December 2019, I was living in San Francisco. I'd been in San Francisco a year and 4 or 5 months, and um, I had been doing my women's circles for 8 months at this point. I was really beginning to create that community and create my healing practice, my Reiki practice, my business, juggling my teaching job that was very stressful, that was very overwhelming, very muggle, right? Muggle work, 3D work. So yeah, so this was December 3rd. So, oh my gosh, goals of 2019, 2020 question mark. Who would have thought, right? What would happen in 2020? Intentions, just being and doing and living this wild life of the earth. What I've woken up to in this past year is simply unmatched. The ancestral healing to begin with, the deep-rooted healing of self in this lifetime, inner work that transcends to others and creates a ripple effect in this world. I am you, you are me, we are the universe. It begins and ends with you, everything. We are all students and masters of this universe, just guiding each other and reminding each other of our homes, our worth, our souls, our gifts. We are powerful beyond measure, and it's been our own free will that we've had to unwind from the matrix and bring ourselves to the surface again, allowing the flow to flow, guidance and support from our teams, our soul family, just being. Hashtag be a dot. So if you follow Phil Good, I used to really follow Phil Good back in the day. And that was his hashtag, be a dot. Like just be, like just remember you're a human, just be a dot. And fun fact is in 2022, I I never request to go live in people's IG lives. Like, I never request to be a participant. And for some reason, I also never really watch IG lives. And for some reason, he was sharing an IG live, Feel Good. And I went on. I mean, I immediately clicked request, and I'm, when you do something, you're like, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I know I'm going to be picked. And there were like 1,000 people watching the IG live, but I knew, I was like, I will be next. And I was next. And we talked, and it was such a weird encounter. Like, I don't even know what was happening, but I had friends jump on and see that I was like chatting with Feel Good, and they were just like, the energy was off, like something was off. I don't know if he was having a bad day, and I was just like to come on and share wisdom, because my friend was watching and she said that whatever I was saying, a lot of people were commenting and resonating with. So it was such a weird, I don't know, it's such a weird interaction, but that's a side anecdote. So back in the day, yeah, I really followed him, and I guess I remember saying like hashtag be a dot and just fucking be, staying alive, limiting all of the distractions, coming back to self and the power within you, releasing the old, ancient, limited beliefs, no rush, all trust, shedding lifetimes of past wounds, memories, and lessons, remembering why we are here, bringing light to the surface and coming out from hiding. There is no going back. Holy shit, there is no going back. There is only truth now. Falling into winter transitions, darker days, shorter moments of sunshine and warmth on your face, colder toes, warmer blankets, skin becoming dry as it adjusts to the change of temperature outside. Being gentle with myself just as I am gentle with and accepting of the seasons. We are always transitioning into and out of seasons. 2, remembering and being mindful of the ebbs and flows, the Vata season now of inward work and reflection. Quietly shifting and evolving, shedding into the next season and phase of our life. We never judge plants or trees for losing leaves in the winter and fall time, so why should we be any different? And we are part of nature, and we deserve our own gentleness too. Cycles of our lives, cycles of the ever-changing seasons, trusting the process and shedding or blooming when we intuitively know it to be true. Nature does not rush, it just is. Respecting and honoring my season, my flow, my action, my alignment, my retreat, my release. What needs to come into bloom and what needs to be released, respecting the tides and different waves of motion. Remembering no two trees or flowers or plants are the same. Honor and respect yourself and where you are. The seasons of life, the release, love, guilt, shame, joy, happiness, regret, action, quiet and solitude, grief, sorrow, sadness, elation, hope. Well, that resonates as we are in the winter in the Northern Hemisphere, right? Really deeply rooting into ourselves. Yeah, some of these journals are kind of all over the place. Like, and then I have one page that March 15, 2020. So that was like right after we found out like the pandemic, everything was starting to happen. So I guess I must have been channeling root chakra, right? Because at that time in our world, the root chakra was imbalanced, right? Because everyone was in their fear, everyone was in survival. And if you don't know, right, the root chakra is the base of our spine. It's that survival energy center. So root chakra is connection, Muladhara, base of your spine, most primal energy center, basic needs of safety, security, and connection. The world around you, your physical body and community. I think I did an IG live around this time, and I did a root chakra meditation. Establishing groundedness, stability as you flow through life. When energy is flowing, we feel good and confident. When it is blocked, we feel anxious, unsafe, and worried. And then I kind of shared some of the galactic calendar here. So I haven't shared an episode yet on the galactic calendar, but it is the Zolkeen, like the Mayan calendar. So it's another form of keeping time. And each day is a different galactic signature. And we each have our own galactic signature, which is really cool. So I guess during this time when I wrote this, the World Bridger Day was happening. So each day is a different signature. And the World Bridger is a symbol of universal energies activated, welcome, power. What can you release? Um, and the tone was 12. So there are 13 tones and 13-day wave spells. And tone 12 days are crystal days, day of dedication, universalization, and cooperation. Synergy energies when we work together. Needs of individual are met by collective vision. Interesting. And then some of this was, yeah, some reflections I guess I was having around, yeah, this was all over. I hope you guys are following along. I wanted this to be very unfiltered. You know, I briefly looked over some of these journal entries before hitting record, but a lot of this I desire to be unfiltered and raw and vulnerable. And it's also very cathartic for me to do this because one, I get to voice what I was feeling and what I was going through. And I also get to release these journals after hitting end record, right? Like I get to rip up the pages or burn the pages and say goodbye to these journals because so much has shifted and so much has changed. And as I'm moving into this next version of me yet again, right? This next level, it's so important to let the old go. It's so important to release and continue moving forward and releasing the momentum. And I'm sharing also because I know that there are deep, deep messages here and wisdom and knowledge and remembrance, right? You are listening to this and you are on this awakening journey as well. You would not have found soul over matter if you weren't a magical wizard or witch, because that's who we are. And I know all of us are moving through it and we're constantly moving through it. As I read some of this, I'm like, oh, I'm feeling those things again, right? It's this constant ebb and flow. So on 12/12, December 12th, 2019, which was the 12/12 portal, and I had hosted I think it was a full moon around that time, a full moon circle in my San Francisco apartment. My partner at the time was gone, and I hosted it in our living room. And it's so funny because I was just telling a girlfriend about this week, is we burned all of our journal entries and like our releases in the common area. And it it was just funny because I'm just like, oh my gosh, I wonder how many neighbors are watching us and being like, what are those ladies doing? There was like 9 of us just in a circle at the fire, howling at the moon and releasing. So gosh, so many beautiful memories to reflect on. So yeah, I guess was this journal entry was around that 12/12 portal, and we know numerology, right? It's these dates are very activating and transcendent. I am affirming the full activation of my DNA. I'm aligning with unity consciousness through divine feminine and masculine energies. I become a pillar of light, a skywalker between the heavenly cosmos and Mother Gaia, anchoring in this new earth energy. Feeling alive, activated, and so nourished by beautiful women in the circle. It's a description where there are no words. So if you guys are new here, I held new moon and full moon circles in San Francisco from 2018 to 2020 and met some of my lifelong, like now lifelong friends when I was living there. So it's a description where there are no words. It's pure love, light, and divine inspiration. Potent releasing and feelings. 8 months of circles, yet it feels like a lifetime or many lifetimes. Being activated with Kaylee, my soul sister. So Kaylee and I connected on Instagram back in like 2018. and she lived in Berkeley at the time, and she's just dear, dear soul sister. I'm pretty sure I was her grandmother in another life. And yeah, it's really beautiful when you reflect on the soul family that you have connected with since the beginning of your journey and how everyone plays a part and plays a role. And, you know, even if you lose touch or you don't talk as much, it's such a deep connection that it doesn't matter. And they just hold such a special place in your heart because you needed each other in that moment. And Kaylee and I actually randomly ran into each other in Southern California in 2022 when I was solo traveling and she was just back in the States. She was living, I think, in Costa Rica at the time, and she was just back in the States for a wedding. And we literally physically bumped into each other in San Diego. So it's just, it's magic, guys. This life is magic. So Kaylee came to my full moon circle that night, and I think she stayed the night. So being activated with Kaylee, my soul sister, my heart, we get each other on this cosmic plane of such peace and understanding. It's truly unmatched, and it's wild to be reunited again. Soul sisters. I am so lucky. I am eternally grateful. Mhm. I fasted for 30 hours. I think this is the first time I actually fasted. I think I only had water and maybe some fruit. It was pretty easy. I also worked during that time too, and I worked with kids. We'll definitely be doing it once a month to cleanse the system. I feel lighter, like nothing can touch me. It's pure magic. I love this universe. Channeling messages from my star family, being activated in ways that I cannot put into words. Trusting the unknown for that's where the magic unfolds and happens. Trusting, allowing help and guidance from my ancestors, angels, and spirit family. The magic that has unfolded in the last year, the last month, the synchronicities, the signs. And then yeah, sharing some spirit animals, some signs. I still see signs every day, but the beginning of your awakening, it's just really loud. It's so loud. So crows, hummingbirds, hawks, grasshoppers, squirrels, spiders, worms, blue jays, numbers, names. The name of my soul came through at this time, my spirit, the essence of me, and then like some content creation. I have like some content calendar tips and YouTube blogging and healing summits and meditations. Yeah, I shared my gifts in person a lot at events in San Francisco at the time. So this was January. Now I'm back at oh my gosh, January 8th, 2020. I don't remember where this was, but it's a question. How are you being called to share your soul's unique song? I'm being called to step up and share my deepest truths. I'm being called to go deeper within myself and herald in the truth of my soul with my heart space, to tell it all and activate all that there is to demonstrate my highest truth and sovereign being, human and soul. All of me embodied within this container, this shell, during this lifetime. No bar, no boundaries. With your essence standing firm in my power, alliance with self, bringing back the true me, speaking out about my origins, my awakening, my soul purpose. No more holding back, no more playing nice, no more being fearful. Peeling back all of the layers. All is underlined about 4 times. How can I make my life a moving prayer? Oh, so these must have been questions from one of Rebecca Campbell's Oracle decks. And Rebecca Campbell is a Hay House author, and I actually cried when I received the first deck I bought from her that I used at my first women's circle. So I think these were Oracle questions from the deck. How can I make my life a moving prayer? Being in alignment with my true north, allowing myself to trust the outcomes, taking steps to fulfill my highest dreams, guiding myself to my truest north, doing the things that bring me joy, staying as a pillar, unwavering faith in myself. I love this one. This is great for Aquarius season. How can you embrace your weirdness and not care so much about what other people think? I can embrace my weirdness by continuing to show up for myself, by peeling back the layers of stuff that has clogged my aura, by continuing to accept my strengths, weaknesses, and gifts, by going all in and remembering why I came here again, to start a revolution, to take part in this transformation of Earth, be one with myself, continue facing my true north, continue putting it all out there without a second guess, taking the time to continue finding my way and taking leaps of action, letting my freak flag fly high. That was January 10th, 2019. This is fun, guys. I am having fun doing this Dear Diary new section of my Soul Over Matter podcast. I would love to hear your feedback of this new segment. So February 18th, I think it's 2020, I'm not sure. Woo-wee, wow-wee, so much happening in the planet, feeling all of this, being in Earth School, losing myself in relationships emotionally, yes. Feeling like the inner compass is so emotionally taxing. It's frustrating. Yeah, the sense of unworthiness creeps up. I crave more. I want to scream at the mountains, literally scream. How did it go on for so long? Should it have ended before? I'm in another layer of awakening, and I just crave everything and nothing all at once. I don't feel like this is how it should be. Is it time to move on? Is there more? Or is it moot? I grapple all the time. So fascinating. So, yeah, that is a journal entry from, right before the world shifted, right before the pandemic. I was having thoughts about my past relationship and leaving and just feeling this difference in our energies and in where we were in our lives and our values and so many other things. And then the pandemic hit and I went back to safety. I went back to comfort. And it took a little bit to get back on track and to trust that inner knowing, to trust the unfolding and to trust myself. At that time, I didn't trust myself. I kept allowing my ego to move me, or I just got scared and I would hide and I just didn't want to face the truth, right? Um, so this part is right when the pandemic hit. The Aquarian age has truly begun. I feel the veil in the dimensions has lifted. Manifestation is almost instant. Fear and panic has spread over the entire world, and I feel calm, aligned, and ready to take action. Wow, I did not realize the magnitude of my intentions back in October would create this reality for me. Working from home, building my business, having all the time in the world for reset, recharge, aligned action, and energy for helping myself and the collective. So back in October, with my friend Kaylee, we were doing these manifestations and this new moon at